Okay, as I told you, we are more for 2019-20 passed outs only with 60% academics. And branch wise, we have very good success rate with non CS and EC also. Even from mechanical, civil, electrical, or even EIE, instrumentation side, or even there are many people from chemical as well. So as long as the student is really good with mathematics, willing to work hard, it's very easy for us to kind of train them and place them, not a problem. And what we teach, we will discuss more in detail in the presentation part. I'll go to the online part. So how exactly we teach through online? We actually have Microsoft Teams through which we are connected now. It can be logged in through web or mobile app. So we have our own mobile app, Android mobile app, wherein we will be, once we're done with the regular classes at the end of the day, we'll be uploading all the videos in the respective groups or whatever batch that you joined. And we have a platform called Instax, in which we conduct all the coding examinations part. It can be all the assignments, everything through Instax only, because many people, when they are trying to execute programs on their laptops, it's very difficult for the faculty to go and check how well they are doing. So what we did, we purchased a web platform in which every student will be given a login. So student has to log in into the respective login ID, which is like name at cvcorp.in and the password given by us. So they will have all the set of programs given there, and we expect the student to kind of practice there itself. All these practice sessions also with the test cases completely. Then we use AMCAT, which is like a mostly monthly mock test kind of a thing, which we generally use for outside students for actually one-time screening process. We use it extensively for the students to get understanding about the web platform. Typically, it's a 3 month training program. So few people who join us, let's say someone is semi-trained from a good college, good schooling part. I have seen people getting placed within 1.5 month. Few people will actually take 3 months, and there are few exceptions who are like very slow in learning, but really hardworking guys. I have seen them even taking almost up to 5 to 6 months as well. So one particular thing is our intention is to help the student to get job ready and get placed. So duration doesn't matter. And our model also is not about finishing syllabus. We follow a model called teach, assess, reteach model. There are students who join in a batch. After 1 month, we take the training, we conduct examinations. If you find the person is actually taking a lot of time to kind of get to the tune of the requirement part, we generally sit with the student, do one-on-ones, and we recommend them to kind of go through batch training one more time along with the new batch, because the intention is we want the person to get the training part, not about finishing syllabus. So trainers exceptionally supported guys. So we have trainers available from morning 9 a.m. to almost till night 10 p.m. in the WhatsApp groups. People can be in touch with us all the time. Whenever recruitment drive happens or any interviews are there, we are there for you guys even on Sundays and Saturdays, doesn't matter. We are there to support you completely. That's about the thing. So maybe you can go through it in more in detail. I'll share the links. And these are dashboard guys. We are at to update about 2020 success stories here. We'll be doing it soon because Legato has one more date of joining on September 25, waiting for the final update. So maybe once the class is done, you can go through the dashboard. You can find through company how many people got placed. And then if someone is from non-IT branch, they can go and check mechanical, what kind of companies we hired in mechanical, what kind of salaries they got, and probably can check which colleges they are from. That will give you more clarity about the non-IT branches. And this is through college. If you are from whatever college, you can probably go and type the college name here. For example, if you start typing CMR, you get all the colleges which are with the same CMR thing. You can go through that and probably go and check how many are there for you in particular college. You can probably find your seniors. That might give you some clarity about the entire thing. That's about the company thing, guys. So let's move to presentation wise. Okay. There are two ways like how we generally take it out. One is to tell you more about what we teach at CV Corp. Second thing is what industry expects from fresher level. So heading can be anything. So the answer is same. So we teach as per the industry expectations. So I'll try to make this discussion more like a what exactly industry expect from fresher level than trying to talk about what we teach here because both are same. So I'll take a small example, guys, when I explain this so that you can have better clarity. Any IT industry, if you take, we can probably represent IT industry into different verticals. So let's say this is an IT industry kind of a thing. Every IT industry will have one department which is more of a UI based user interface, and second one we can talk about middleware, which is more of a programming kind of stuff. Then we'll have something called as database. Then we talk about infrastructure side, which is more of your cloud, AWS, DevOps, and all these things. If you talk about any IT industry, more or the less like in a product development company kind of a thing, will have different divisions. So to give an example, guys, let's say you all know Amazon or any Flipkart or anything, right? Can we take Amazon or Flipkart example, guys, to explain? Anyone?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
For example, guys, since we have a combination of people from different groups in this session, I would like to take more in a very generic way. For example, when you open any, let's say, Amazon website, so on the home page, what you guys see when you have a home page, the home page will have something called as, it will have some menus, some kind of a menus, drop downs. It will have some kind of a sign up form, documents, blah, blah, blah. And it will have some search button where you actually select something and then click on submit. So immediately what happens when you submit something, you get information very clearly about the different items displayed in the particular website completely, about the description of the web item and all those things. So that is a basic understanding, guys, right? You have a home page. For example, if you're calling this one as a UI page, and this is something where you get about your items, like what are the items we have in that particular page, you get information. So that means when you actually click on something on home page, how we are getting all the data? That means from home page, we are connecting with something called as a database. And then we get the data part, and then we get into this UI part, the display part. It's a very simple example, guys, just to make sure very very high end level. Whatever that we see on the home page, if you talk about the drop downs, images, and all these things, so these things probably we can talk about something called as the user interface. For example, to do these things, a person has to be really good with few technologies, let's say like HTML, CSS, jQuery, JavaScript, and if you go further, it might be something into frameworks in JavaScript also. So all these things can be one particular thing. That means when you enter into IT industry, you have a chance based on the project requirement, you might be put into a role called UI developer role, which is more about to deal with HTML, CSS, jQuery, JavaScript. To further career path in this particular division, you have to learn some frameworks like AngularJS, React, maybe Vue.js and all these things. So if you talk about here, what is it something which is talking to database, that we generally call it as middleware. If you talk about middleware, guys, we might have multiple programming languages in IT industry. It can be C, C++, Java, .NET, PHP, Python, Perl, Node.js, Ruby. There are many, if you can name. All these comes under middleware technologies. So based on the project requirement, based on the project security they have, the project budget they have, and based on the kind of complex solution they deal with, company architect guy will actually design what kind of programming language the company might use. So typically, on the whole industry side, if you say, Java is one of the preferable language for most of the things. That's the reason we generally teach Java here. So typically from the student perspective, when you get into IT industry, you might join the company as something called as a developer, which can be any of these particular things. So one particular thing what I've been noticing in the last 1 year, especially with freshers, many people are actually learning Python. So I don't deny, guys, Python is actually a good language to learn, but Python is not the job kind of a language. It is more like a, for example, if you are learning Java along with Python, definitely advantage. If you're learning only Python, definitely with respect to the kind of number of opens in the market, I'll say Java is preferable. Learn Python, I'll not say no, but learning only Python might not give you good number of options. And one more thing is, even the CV Corp talent test or many of the company drives we are seeing for, people are solving most of the complex problems in Python just by using existing functions. But when we ask the person, can you do it with a more logical way? They have no clue, because Python makes people to use more of existing functions. That is really good. At a fresher level, from the company perspective, to evaluate someone's logical thinking, people generally do ask questions mostly into Java side, because Java will actually make the company to know how better you can code and all those things. That's about the programming language. So then we talk about database here. So typically in the existing market database, we have two different kind of databases people generally use. One is RDBMS, or we can talk about NoSQL. So typically, if you talk about databases which are like MySQL, Oracle, MS SQL Server, Sybase, DB2, all this comes under relational database. But now the trending term is more of NoSQL, something let's say like MongoDB, Cassandra, Neo4j, all these things comes under NoSQL part. So typically in the IT industry, when you join a company, if based on the requirement, the company might take you into a role called, which is more of a database developer role or a database administration role, which deals with mostly something called as SQL. And if more into database side, they might teach you more about PL SQL to become more of a database expert. So this is one particular thing. That means as a fresher, along with UI middleware, there is a chance you might get into even something called a database as well. These are three basic things. And one important thing which many people actually ignore is called as infrastructure side. All those, whatever that we generally hear in the market, the new terminologies, let's say DevOps, system admin that we talk about, it can be either Linux or Windows, something more, let's say like a network security. all these things comes under infrastructure side. If you observe one particular thing, most of the people who works into infrastructure side, they have to be available something called as 24/7 in different shifts altogether completely. So that is the reason whenever we see any requirement which is more of a infrastructure side, so they always talk about you guys have to be available 24/7 in rotation shifts and all those things. So one particular thing, the reason why I started with the industry expectations wise, we always tell at CVCorp to all the students, career has to be choice, not a chance. Many people, when you talk about your BTech degree, if I ask a person why this particular branch, so few people has a clarity answer, few doesn't have any kind of an answer. The reason being, at that point of time, someone might recommend to take this branch. Everyone has their own answers about why this branch. So many people, it is by choice, it is by chance as well. But career, the 4 years degree can be a chance, guys. But a 40 years career cannot be, it has to be choice only. So that's the reason we at CVCorp, what we recommend people, students should have a clear understanding about what is IT industry, different career paths a person can have completely into, and they should know about the difference between product-based company, service-based company, different technologies we have in the market. If I move into a particular technical stack, what kind of career path I'll have. So this is something we wanted always people to know more about it. That is one particular thing, guys. This is overall idea part. And one other thing which we missed out in the middleware part, there is something called as testing engineer. So testing engineer and developer both go in hand, guys. One particular thing is maybe about some 2 to 3 years back, people used to call testing is more like a manual testing part. If someone doesn't know programming, it's easy for them to move to testing and all those blah blah blah. But now things has changed. Even if it is a testing engineer, company expect the person to have a clear understanding of complete code. It can be any other programming language. Reason being, testing is no more a manual testing. It has to be automation also at certain point of time. Unless until you are good with programming, a person cannot do automation testing. So whether you get into programming side, testing side, these are basic things. So this is more about. So let's say this is the total understanding part. Let's talk about if there is a student who is a BTech passed out, to take this person into any of these roles into the company expects them to be good with 3 basic areas. One is okay, these are the basic 3 areas. If you talk about any company when we do interview process, these are the basic 3 areas what IT industry experience fresher level. For example, when I talk about aptitude, aptitude is not something more like a time and distance or some formulae or some using some shortcuts and all these things. Aptitude is more about understanding the given problem, and out of 3 or 4 multiple possibilities that we can solve a particular problem, a student has to think which is the optimal solution compared to all the other things. For example, I'll take this example in almost every demo class just to give you better understanding. Let's assume that we are in a 3rd floor and we have to go to the ground floor or onto the main road as fast as we can. We have 3 options. One is jump from the window, lift, and steps. Which is the fastest way, guys? Anyone?
Lift.
Lift and steps.
Lift. Sir.
Sir.
Okay, can be open. Jump.
Left, sir.
Lift. Okay. Anyone here say jump or everyone say lift only?
Lift, sir.
No one want to jump.
No,
No.
sir.
Okay. But
Sir,
the problem,
steps.
the answer is always steps, not anything else. Reason is very simple. Even if you go to any shopping mall or anywhere, they always say at fire emergency, do not use lift. Reason being, we never know the lift will operate or not in emergency. That's the reason we always say go take steps only. Similarly, whenever we take about any aptitude problem, we have to always think, will this solution work in all the possible scenarios or only to one particular scenario? That is something called as aptitude part. And one more thing is, many people have this particular question. Let's say we are applying for an IT job, which is more of a programming kind of a thing. So when the company is into programming side, why the company is actually doing an interview on the aptitude? Anyone has this particular question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, very good. I'll give a very brief, guys. Every program that we generally write into IT industry, a program is measured into two different things. One is time complexity, other one is space complexity. For example, if you are writing a small piece of code, if that code is actually taking a lot of time to execute, that means directly, indirectly, that will affect the company product, reputation, and even the user experience as well. For example, if you open a website, if it's taking a lot of time to open the website, next time you will not even go to the website because you want the results just like that. Second is space. If the program that whatever you develop is actually occupying more of space, the company has to buy more servers to deploy it, which is additional cost to the company. That means every program that you write, company do check space complexity and time complexity. That's the reason whenever you write any code, always the optimal code is which is of with less number of loops. For example, even a prime number, we have a lot of options to write prime number in multiple ways. So the best possible way is like to do the program without much iterations and taking much time. So that is how generally people do check. So how a student will get into that particular concept of what logic to be used and is this logic is really fast enough or something, because it's purely based on the aptitude part. So that's the reason companies expect a person to have a right aptitude, not about just solving the RS Agarwal or the India Bigs or these basic MCQs, but more about the logical puzzles and all these things as well. And many companies, when we go for an interview, they'll be giving you an aptitude question and expect you to solve it in one of the programming language. That is another thing as well. So aptitude is not about just formulas, guys. It is way beyond. Companies expect every student to have a right aptitude so that he can write a program really well. Second one is attitude side. For example, it's more about attitude. If I say starting from everything, for example, how you present yourself, starting with how actually your CVs look like and how you present yourself in front of interview part completely. It can be about the group discussions, it can be about the jam sessions, it can be about your technical interview and your behavioral about your behavior part, how you actually you either you react or respond in the interview part, taking feedback when someone is trying to correct something, are you trying to correct yourself or not, and people try to talk about especially HR question, how well we say. So there is a long list of all these things we generally talk about attitude wise. It's more about starting from let's say how you prepare your resume. Is it because everyone knows that before even you reach the concerned HR, your resume reaches them first. So you have to be always well prepared with a perfect resume without any errors. And the way you present yourself, the first impression, best impression side. And many people think group discussion, jam sessions are about only English. But remember, guys, you are not applying for a newsreader job or for a call center, neither a English lecturer job. Communication is important, but it's not about only English. It's more about how well you actually behave with a team and how you talk, and then how whether you kind of convince others or get convinced. There's a lot which actually tells about the human behavior, not about just English. And technical interviews, how well actually you talk to the technical panel and try to approach a problem. And many times people don't expect you to solve every puzzle given to you, but people will be kind of trying to understand how well you're actually approaching the problem. And many times when you don't know a question, people try to beat around the bush, like how actually we have to be open with the interview part. And many people, maybe the kind of family background they come from, few people, when they actually talk to the people, they don't really respect others. I mean, even though they respect internally, but their hand gestures or the way they actually look at them, their language, body language, the way they sit, sometimes is not so comfortable. So we have to check all those things. People react, few respond. And when someone says like you are wrong, people start getting into argument mode, which is not a good sign. And many common ask HR questions. So we might think HR is asking you something more about one particular thing, but we have to think HR is asking this particular question to know about other things. For example, if I ask a person, tell me like what's your day-to-day routine? So we might try to think that he is trying to know more about what exactly I do, how well I plan my day. So I might start saying early morning I wake up by so and so, I go to my class, I prepare for my GRE, TOEFL, I go to GATE classes, blah, blah, blah. So HR is not trying to know about your day-to-day curriculum. He's trying to understand what your real aspirations are. Many people, without any proper guidance, they go and fail in the HR interview just because they are telling something which is not relevant to the interview part. So few people do self goals, stating I have higher education plans. HR will upfront reject them directly because they know that they want people who want to start their career immediately, but not about people who have some other plans as well. So there is a lot to discuss. We will be discussing about all these things. And coming to skills, when I say technology part, so we already discussed here completely. Technology wise, company expects the person to be really good with middleware, the programming language, good with HTML, CSS, the UI part, SQL commands completely, and should have a basic understanding about how to host the application what I built either in Firebase or AWS or any cloud, what does it matter, whatever it is. So that is the basic expectations wise. If someone is trying to analyze, like, I mean, are we getting deviated from the topic? I want to re-emphasize, guys. It's very simple. This is something the IT industry, what exactly people do. To do all these things, company expects a good attitude, good aptitude, and good technologies. These are the basic things generally what companies look for. Guys, any questions still here? Anyone has any questions still here?
No, sir.
Are we clear?
Yes, sir.
No,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah. Now let's move to a new slide. I'll explain more about the other things. Okay, let's talk about this very important thing, guys. Something called a college versus industry side. Let me mute everyone. Okay, this is very important, guys. College versus industry side. For example, if we talk about the college wise, so typically at college, what exactly we do to prepare for an IT interview. So we have some 60R or 30R, some kind of a apti classes. So more about just a theoretical class, which generally happens in the college level. Then what generally colleges that we teach, they'll take some 10 to 20 GD topics, or more about jam topics typically. Second thing what we do, we take some 20 programs, most about the Viva Voice, whatever we prepare for. We prepare all these questions completely. Then we prepare some Java theory questions completely, whatever it is. Apart from that, the college project, whatever that we did, we prepare more to impress our HOD to get the good marks and everything. Then they'll be giving you some HR questions. Guys, correct me if I'm wrong. Is this something what the colleges teach or anything else?
Same, sir.
Almost same, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let's talk about many people actually. I have seen people saying that, sir, I'm a BTech graduate. I have good percentages. I can crack things on my own. So I say really appreciate. But we have to always think one particular thing is, we always tell in the CV Corp to all the people who join us. This is one statement which we always tell students at CV Corp. Never ever worry about the opportunities, because we have plenty in the market. Worry more about how much you are prepared to grab the given opportunity. For example, if a company comes tomorrow to CV Corp for a drive, my question is, are we well prepared to grab the opportunity, or are we still stuck around only the college level preparation and expecting that this preparation will help you to crack the interviews? Definitely not. I'll explain more in detail what exactly the industry expectations with respect to all these things, whatever we generally we discuss here. So with respect to aptitude wise, company expects a person to be really good with logical thinking, good aptitude. You should be able to work on a lot of puzzles and then practice lot of mock tests completely. Then there are many companies, when we actually any company drive comes, we have to be good with the company specific questions, what kind of question they might ask, and we should check with the previous papers also completely. And apart from all these things, student has to go through the company website, careers, LinkedIn, Glassdoor. So this is one simple thing, guys. So typically at a student level, maybe at a college level, many people, we make our college TPO to decide what company I should join and what career I should actually take it up, because many people, they don't even open the company website. They don't even check the careers option to check what kind of technologies they are working on, what kind of people they are hiring for. They don't go to LinkedIn. They don't actually go through Glassdoor to see the internal reviews. The company is good, bad, whatever it is. So industry expectations wise, I mean, we always recommend people not about just apti classes, guys. You have to do a thorough research about the company in detail. And with respect to apti, you have to good with logical apti, lot of practice tests. And every company, there are company specific patterns will be there. You have to know more about it. When you go to Glassdoor kind of a website, you can definitely make out many people, they share their experiences, question paper, sometimes pattern, all those things. That is one particular thing. And second thing is with respect to GD and JAM. So many people say it's more about communication, but it's not, guys. It's more about it's more about to be in a group. It's always about either you convince others or get convinced. It can't be like be in a group and then be an odd man out. So we companies, for example, once you join the, I'll give a small example, guys. So many people think when you get into IT industry, you might sit in a corner and then probably uh, code and everything. That is not the basic things. When you get into any IT industry, you have to day in, day out deal with multiple people. So for example, you have to day in, day out deal with, you have multiple clients with whom you have to deal with. Then you will have your team members, or you can say team leads, or your juniors. In a team, wherever you work, day in, day out, you have to work with your peers who are at same level, senior level, junior level, and you have to interact with uh, other team members as well. For example, a developer has to interact with testing guy, system admin guy, support guy, project management guys, business analyst, lot of things are there. So IT developer is not about just sitting coding, guys. In a day in, day out, you have to deal with many internal and external stakeholders through a proper communication. This communication can be done in general IT industry. Communication is through emails, chat, telephone, or it can be video conferences. This is how generally we talk to all these people in the IT industry side. So we always think group discussion is more about something called as the topic what we take, who is initiating, who is concluding. Yeah, am I talking sense, or it's more like am I giving chance to others, my eye contact, my body behavior, blah, 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 blah. But technically speaking, when a company HR is actually checking you, he will be visualizing you that you are in a team meeting with your team members. There is a problem statement, and they'll be always trying to see if this guy joins my team, how well he respects the team members' ideas, whether he argues with them, whether he has a valid point or not, whether many people has a lot of points to say. They might be excellent, but people don't speak in the group because they are always not a team players completely. So companies are not checking your communication skills, just a language, guys. This is the big picture. What a person has to be evaluated completely. So when we talk, we have to always think like whom we are dealing with. So whatever that I say, whether other person actually, when I am I reacting to something, am I responding to something, what kind of language I use. If I really want to agree with someone, it's not required that every time I have to say agree with you, agree with you. It's all about adding a point to that. If you don't agree with someone, upfront is not a great option. You have to say, I respect your opinion, but I have a different opinion altogether. There are a lot of ways that we have to communicate to the people directly. And many people think uh, communication is all about only these two things at a college level, but not. Communication is a very big picture. And one more thing is communication will help you guys throughout the interview process, not just only your GD side. Communication class will actually help you in aptitude part. It helps in GD jam. It helps in technical interview. Of course, helps in HR interview part. So we always tell people communication is all about multiple things, not just about only one particular thing. At CV Corp, communication class is more about For example, talk about aptitude. A person has a clear understanding about how well the student can read the question. So many people, they know the logic, but sometimes they can't understand the question because they're from Telugu medium background, or sometimes the question is very tricky. So if you're able to read the question well, 50% you have an answer immediately. So what we do at CV Corp, the communication trainer sit along with the aptitude trainer. They'll prepare the list of words which are very repetitive in the aptitude questions and try to give you the actual meanings, like how we have to do the common mistakes what people do in terms of understanding questions. GD jam session, keeping in a big picture in mind, we'll help you guys how to deal with that. Known question, how do we deal? Unknown question, how do we deal? And for example, when talk about jam session, so many people actually say if you take up your own topic, so people generally start with red, blue, yellow, women empowerment, some, let's say now the trend will be corona. So people always talk about some generic topics. For example, if I'm a HR, I have some 10 people talking about some jam session. So do you really think I am very much interested to know about all those things? Definitely not. If someone comes and says a topic jam session, something more about how I overcome my weakness. Yeah, that's actually really good point. Okay, what I do, the way you speak, I can easily make out, okay, this guy had a weakness. So what all things he did to improve his weakness, that gives me a clear picture about, okay, can I hire this guy, or do I need to hire or not about this guy? If someone says teamwork, if someone says self-learning, if someone says my project experience, so always try to talk something which is more relevant to you, which it should be something like you should talk about your communication skills. At the same time, the topic should talk about what kind of person you are. Just generic topics will not help. So we actually help with that. And if someone is wondering how communication class will help in technical interview part, all the technical interview, one of the basic thing very many people actually fail to impress the person is so these are the two basic things, guys. So the problem is at a college level, we are good in actually writing a program. If someone asks you, can you please tell me or explain something called as my prime number program? So what people do, they are not prepared to kind of explain the program in a telephone. For example, now it's all lockdown time. If someone asks you, tell me the logic of a prime number, if you start telling him main brackets, flower bracket, int I, if you just start reading the program, other person will not see you more like a matured guy. So they'll see more like a college graduate itself. So industry expectations wise, we have to really good in terms of how we explain the program in detail. That is where very important part, especially with the project. At a college level project, we prepare the project to impress our HOD mostly. So whatever the acronyms that we use or the terminology, it is more to do with the department specific. Assume that I am a ECE guy. My project is talking about some Raspberry Pi and some kind of a other things. And the guy who's actually interviewing me is from a CSC guy, does not have any idea about the ECE project. When we start explaining more in specific to ECE, the guy might not even understand the project. So that's the reason at CV Corp what we do, we always help students to explain the project more in detailed way, because you have to always think you are not talking your project to your HOD or to your branch guy. You are talking to someone who doesn't even know which branch he is from. We have to always have a different approach how we explain the project. More like say what is the problem statement that generally we do, and what kind of technologies we use, what functionality we use, what is the learning that we did. So when we do something, which always should actually help us. It's not like a generic thing that we go and tell like a Viva voice kind of a thing. So that is one particular thing. And HR, of course, all the basic questions, whatever we ask, will actually help. Okay. Going back to this particular thing here, guys, the group discussions. When that's how like we got into communication, deviated from the topic here. So if we talk about the group discussions wise, it's more about convince or get convinced. Then programs. So typically at college level, what we do, we learn prime number, we learn Fibonacci series, and we learn about something called as matrix multiplication or some basic programs. Yesterday, like we did a drive for one particular company and we interviewed many people. When we asked people a combination like, we want all of you guys to print the Fibonacci series, which are like a prime numbers. So many people got confused completely. What we actually asked them, you print the Fibonacci series and identify all those prime numbers in the particular Fibonacci series part. So the problem is we always practice a program more into one specific thing. We never do with the combinations part. Or people might do a prime number program. If I ask a person, can you print the nearest prime number? Or can you print prime numbers alternatively? Can you print a prime number wherein like even if you reverse the number, it should be a prime number completely? Or can you print a prime number which even the palindrome is a prime number? So there is a lot of questions what companies expect at a industry level, not a plain questions. So that is where at CV Corp what we do, we take up about some close to 150 plus programs or even more than that, which includes all the basic programs. Then we talk about patterns, we talk about arrays, both 1D and 2D. Then we talk about strings. Then we talk about recursion. And very important thing is scenario based programs. So at CV Corp, what we do, we make students to kind of go through all these programs, a combination of it completely in detail. And how we teach, we make the person to do these programs in three different, I can say three different ways. One is paper based program. Then it should be more about system based. Then hackathon, which is more with a test cases. So at CV Corp, we actually do all the program three different ways. So if I talk about why paper based, very important, because if not a lockdown time, in general scenarios, when we go to any interview, company will not give a laptop to everyone to write a program. What they do, they give a paper and ask you to write a program. If it is system, everyone knows whether the program is executed properly or not. When it is a paper, in a hurry, we write the code and then we submit and then we leave. So then we start saying, I wrote my code correctly, but somehow a company has not selected me, blah, blah, blah. So to avoid that, at CV Corp, we have an approach called trace the program. So we make students to trace every program in detail. For example, if you're writing a for loop, you should be able to trace how I value is actually changing step by step throughout the entire program, so that before even you submit the question, the answer paper, you get a chance to go through manually, compile all the program, and if any chance by any mistakes are there, you should be able to rectify and then submit the question paper immediately. Second is normal system based for your practice purpose. Third is hackathon, because many times companies do expect the people that your solution should solve all the given possibilities. For example, they might give you few hidden test cases, few normal test cases. A lot of things are there. To make student well practice, we actually do a program in all these three ways. Programming actually plays a very important role. So CV Corp, I can say we are the only institute which has a separate class for programming as such, along with the technical part. So that is one particular thing. And second thing is we talk about Java theory questions. Many people to prepare for an interview, they say, sir, I know core Java. If I ask them, yes, I can explain OOPS concepts as well. But when I ask them, can you write a program and explain me all the OOPS concepts about everything in a programming wise? People say no. So they know only about giving examples of book, or let's say father to son, or tire, tube, and all these basic examples. Maybe at a college level, those are good guys, but at industry level, company expects you to give a real-time examples completely. So that is where we actually take core Java, advanced Java topics, more practical way. That's the reason we have two different classes altogether. One is programming separate. Second one is wherein we teach complete core Java, advanced Java, including if someone is, okay, I'll explain that as well. At CV Corp, what we do, we make every student to do a real-time project completely. So if I go back to our previous thing, okay, this is what we do. What we do, we make the students to build a basic UI part with the middleware into Java, core Java, advanced Java database, and we help people to host your project either in Firebase or something more into uh, cloud AWS part, so that when you go for an interview, instead of writing a resume, some project in a text, if you put a URL of your project, definitely that will help you out. For example, if someone is from CSC background, so what we do, we try to understand his project. We have separate project workshop. We sit with the student to understand his project completely, and we help. For example, if the project is own, it's fine. If not, we have to understand that whether you agree or not, many students they buy projects. We don't know that project will play a major role in the interview, but the fact is it plays a very major role. So what we do, if it's a CSC guy, we help him to redo the entire project in the complete scenario, what technologies he used, functionalities, all these things. If someone is from non-IT side, by the time they finish the course, we make them to do a small project, including all these things, so that when they go for an interview, they can say, even though I am from CS, I'm a non-IT, I am getting into IT industry with a choice, not by chance. How do we justify that it's a choice? By having a real-time project, we can say that I am coming with a choice, but that is what we do at CV Corp. And we use completely Java stack for that. And in Java part, we'll be teaching core Java, advanced Java completely. Then finally a project, as I told you. Then HR questions. So HR is one of the very easiest interview part. At the same time, unpredictable. We never know what kind of questions they ask. So many people, they get rejected in the HR because of self goals completely. So what we do, we help people to understand what kind of questions they ask and what generally we understand based on the question. And we help people to understand what is the real motive of asking this particular question. We make people to understand about all those things. So this is more about the industry expectations and completely what companies look for and exactly what students are prepared at this point of time and what they have to prepare. So whether you take this thing as more of what exactly industry expert fresher level, or it's something more about what CV Corp teaches a fresher, I can say it includes everything from end to end completely. Any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Was my session clear or confusing? Because I didn't see. I can simply start with stating directly what CV Corp does, what exactly we teach. But I want to make the class more interested. That's the reason, like I started taking things in a different way, explaining you about the industry expectations. Why? So that you know that what is industry expectations, and you even know that at CV Corp we are covering almost everything as per the industry expectations only. Any questions, guys? So are we in sync with what we spoke today?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Anyone has any questions?
Sir, I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
Hey, it's done with online, or when will we make you come to institute?
See, as of now, it's completely online training program. So we all eagerly waiting for the government to announce officially so that we can start the class as early as possible. Guys, other things that we wanted to talk about here is like programming wise, the reason why we are very confident that we can make any branch guide to do a better programming wise, it's very simple. We follow a different approach called a 5-step approach in all the programs that you do. So I'll explain the 5-step approach, what exactly we do. It's very simple. Approach is more about any program. We have to always think about what is the input given and what is the output they're expecting and what logic we are using to kind of solve it. If you are good with these three things, every program is very simple. It's all about how many if conditions, how many loop statements. If you take any program, guys, it can be any program. If you are able to break down the program into what is the input they are looking for. Second is what kind of expectations or what is the output they're expecting for. And what mathematical logic I'm using, what formula I'm using. If you are good with these three things, it's all about converting your logic into program. A program nothing but a sequence of kind of if conditions and loop statements. That is very, very simple. And if someone is good with mathematics, don't have that programming phobia kind of a thing. We have many civil mechanical guys started from scratch completely, and within 1 to 2 months, I have noticed many mechanical guys started teaching their own classmates from CSE also. Programming is very, very easy. It's all about just tune to the respective faculty. They'll actually start from scratch completely. So we covered about what CV Corporate teaches. So other thing is like the program duration is 3 months, guys. The classroom timings, if you talk about, you guys will have 3 classes every day. One class starts from 10 to 11:30 a.m. in the morning. Second class is from 12 to 1:30. Third class is from 2:30 to 4. These are regular classes. And starting from 4:30 till 7, it's more like a virtual lab. All the faculties will be available to you guys for all your basic questions, whatever you have. If you have any question availability, log into Microsoft Teams, share your screen with the respective faculty, discuss about your doubts, everything. They'll be able to help you completely. In fact, let's say we initially had a problem with how do we address the online thing, but since we have the screen share option, students can ask any question they have by sharing a screen with respect to faculty's part. So typically it's a 3 months duration. So students wise, with respect to placements, if you have any questions, I know the basic questions what people will have about placements wise. Placement is never a problem, guys. As I told you, don't worry the opportunities. Once you join the institute, it's not that you have to wait till the 3 months to start going for the drives. If someone is good, meets the eligibility criteria of the companies, whatever we have, We keep sending you for the drives immediately within 1 week as soon as you join the company. September 2nd, couple of guys joined us, and we have a drive happen with a company called NGA Human Resources. And out of them, all the eligible guys, the percentage is 70, and everyone actually has taken the test recently also. So that means if the opportunity comes, we don't need to wait till you finish your syllabus part. We'll be sending it to them. But companies have different approach. Few companies says we need screened people, we need trained people. Few companies says like we want good freshers. So based on the company requirement. So based on the company requirement in generally, we always start with the drives. And other thing is how long we support the placements. As I told you, our model is train, assess and retrain model. So we don't have a hard fast rule that your syllabus will be finished within 3 months. If you are good, we are even happy to take some extra classes and make you employable as early as possible. If you are a slow learner, we respect that. And we are even ready to kind of teach and reteach till you get the subject out of it. It's not about cracking job, guys. It's more about sustaining in the job. So no shortcuts. You have to work hard, get into your job. There are people who joined in different companies. After 1 or 2 months, they didn't like the job. They resigned. They came back to CVCOR. Once a CVCOR student is always CVCOR student. We support them, not a problem at all. And if someone gets an offer and they don't like the company to join, we are happy. You guys can try getting in multiple offers also. We have no issues with that. Any further questions, guys, apart from these? Guys, any questions anyone has?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me try to get to know about everyone here. Ankita, Asha. Okay. Guys, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Chaitanya Vaddi. So you can type Google Chaitanya Vaddi, you'll know more about me. So professionally, I am an MBA guy. I did an MBA from Tirupati University campus. My schooling is from Jawahar Navodaya Vidyalaya. And I did my executive MBA from IIM Kolkata. You can search my LinkedIn profile. I'll share it with you in the group as well. To give a brief, like I started my career with Oracle as a HR. I worked in Oracle for about 5 years. All the initial duration with Oracle and my second company, IBM, I was more into IITs, NITs, BITS kind of a campus placements completely, wherein I didn't had any emotional bond with these colleges. So after that, I joined a company called Apps Associates, which was a ex-Oracle guy started the company. We were about close to 150 people. I worked with that company for about 3 years, helped the company grow from 150 to almost 500. So in that duration, I have visited almost every engineering college in AP and Telangana. I was more of a guest lectures, industry interaction programs, campus placements, have done hundreds of campus placements, off campus, on campus in AP and Telangana, been to many colleges for the judge, chief guest to their annual day programs, in one college, even the building opening. So it's like I was with a lot of colleges completely, with all the TPOs and college chairmen completely. So in that duration, I have identified one particular thing is people, what exactly industry expects and what people prepare at a college level. There is a huge gap between both the things. So that is where like I used to think, if at all I start my own company, I wanted to address this particular problem. So we started CV Corp in 2015, and the job training wing we started in 2017 almost. So the initially, even now CV Corp, I'm currently working as a HR for about 11 startups in Hyderabad, where I take up the entire recruitment part for them. Along with that, we have our own job training center. Since I come from HR, worked in different companies, and almost all the company HRs I know personally. So opportunity is never a problem, guys. So I have plenty of contacts. It's all about as soon as the student is ready, we are happy to help them to get placed. And especially lockdown, the problem is I am able to get a lot of companies now, but I don't have students ready who are trained, because now companies are asking for 2020 completely, not even 19. Very few are 19 part. So recently we had a drive with a company called Inroads. They said 2020. So CV Corp, we didn't have even admission start for 2020. That's the reason we have to go out. So the plan is, whatever the drives come to CV Corp, we always wanted them for CV Corp students only. But when we don't have students, we go out and we try to screen people and then submit for the interviews part as well. But the plan is within next 1 to 2 months, try to intake as much as we can 2020 passed out, so that whenever drive comes, I wanted to make sure that I help my students first, then going out. That's the plan what we have now. And that's the reason we have 3 batches today, 23rd and October 5th as well. If you guys have, if you really like what exactly we teach, you can probably talk to the juniors, and by the time you also experience the faculty for about next 1 week, 10 days, you can even recommend your friends as well to join us. That's about myself, guys, about me. And we have about excellent team. Sankalpa is our HR. So she is the one who is in touch with the companies. She is the one with whom you have to be in touch with about submit your resume completely, wherein she'll deal with the companies and then submit the profile for the drives and all those things. She'll be in touch with you. And our aptitude trainer is Aparna. I'll think I have a photo of my team. I'll just show you guys. Okay, this is my team. So this is me, Sankalpa, and Aparna madam. So she take care of aptitude part. And this guy red shirt is Funny. And this guy is again Chaitanya. These 2 guys deals with complete programming part in detail. And these are the people generally who generally takes interviews as well for all the drives that we do outside. And these guys, the advantage is they are very young guys, very energetic, and they can help you with not just only about one particular topic. They can help you in aptitude, interview preparation mode, core Java, and programming as well. And we have this guy. This person is called Kalyan. He's our senior Java trainer. And communication trainer actually recently joined us. We have had to upload her new picture. And this guy is Naveen, who is our internal developer. He's a mechanical guy actually. I liked him very much. I hired him. And he was the guy who developed this entire dashboard, whatever that we spoke, he developed with React.js completely. And slowly he also started helping many people who are interested into JavaScript side. He started taking classes for them as well. That's about the team that we have. And any questions, guys, about till now?
No,
Okay.
sir, clear.
Good then. Ankita, which college you are from?
Sir, PVKK Institute of Technology, Anantapur, sir.
Sorry?
PVKK Institute of Technology, sir, Anantapur.
Okay, you're 2020 passed out, right?
Yes, sir.
Which branch, Ankita?
Computer science, sir.
Okay, good. Then Asha Srisailam. Who is Asha here? Asha is 2019 passed out, I guess. I remember she spoke to me long back. Avinash? Shruti? Which college, Shruti?
Shantiram Engineering College, Nandyal, sir.
Okay. Bala Rajesh Reddy.
Srirama Engineering College from Tirupati, sir.
Okay. Dorasani, which college? Okay. Dorasani, which college?
College of Engineering and Technology.
Jagan.
Counterpart.
Okay. Gayatri Lata.
Aditya College of Engineering, sir.
Okay, Madanpalli.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Maheshwari.
Sir, Kakatiya University.
Kakatiya University. Okay. Someone by name GV here. Sorry.
Geetham University, Vizag.
Okay. Okay. Kalyani.
So, YSR Engineering College of Yogi University, sir. Prodhutur.
Okay, YSR. Okay. Suvarna's classmate, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Suhas.
Yes, sir. Gates Institute of Technology, sir. Gutti.
Okay. Muhammad Suhail.
Sorry, UIT RG.
Aji. Okay. Pavan.
MLRIT from Hyderabad, sir.
Okay. Rohini. Sushmita. Okay. Ramya.
Srinidhi College, sir. Srinidhi Institute of Science and Technology.
Okay. Ganesh.
Kakinada Institute of Engineering and Technology, Korangi.
Okay. Ramya, we have many guys from Srinidhi who got placed through CV Corp. Maybe you can go to the list.
Yes, sir. I have contacted them.
Okay. Guys, did I miss anyone here? I have someone B16 EC 116.
Yes, sir. My name is Roshni. I'm from Kakatiya Institute of Technology and Science, Warangal.
Okay. Avinash? No problem. Asha Srisailam. Okay. No problem, guys. I mean, that was just to kind of understand like what all the colleges we have, people to understand. So as we start, and once you confirm your confirmation to join CV Corp, we have plenty of time to know more about each other. That's not a problem. So I'll just show you few things that internally whatever the coding part I told you. So this is the AMCAT platform which I was talking about for the mock tests and everything. So I want to kind of give a detailed approach about how exactly AMCAT will help us to understand your coding and to correct you. Okay, I'll take a recent examination what we conducted recently. Okay. What generally trainers do when we conduct an examination part, we go through the students' coding part more in detail. So this is like a more at PDF also we can get this thing completely. So it talks about every program that you wrote, how far it is correct, and it actually talks about number of attempts that you do and successful errors, comparison error side, how much time it took to finish the program completely. We actually go through all these things, and one interesting part is we have something called as code replay. So what generally faculty does, if someone is actually getting continuously less scores in all the exams that we conduct, programming side, they'll actually conduct an exam and they'll be going to the code player option from AMCAT, which actually gives a clear understanding about your coding pattern completely. So the trainer can see the complete about how you're writing your code. Is it like while writing the code, are you like declaring all the variables first, then you're writing the code? Or it's more about, let's say you write the code and start declaring the variables as required completely. When you stuck up somewhere, where exactly you generally stuck up, wherein like it shows the ideal time. Okay, here the guy is completely idle. So generally what the faculty will do, they'll go through few of sample codes that is written by you completely. That will give them a clear understanding about, as a student, where exactly you are struggling, so that whenever these trainers do one-on-one sessions with you completely, they can help you to rectify where exactly the problem is coming up. So we use this particular tool a lot to make people to write code better. Because as I told you, training is not about finishing syllabus or finishing topic. It's more about making a student to actually understand the concept what we are trying to teach. That is one particular thing. And as I told you before, we use our own internal mobile application for all the internal purpose completely. So it's a UI interface, guys. So for example, recently we have a batch started. Let's talk about CV September, the recent batch that we started. At the end of the day, we'll be uploading all the videos. So in the mobile app, student can go and they can actually get revise the entire classes, whatever we teach. And if they have any questions, they can review the video one more time and then they can contact the respective faculties. And we'll be conducting tests as well. Every topic that we are done with the topic in aptitude, we conduct a test and we'll be checking about the scores. And these scores are compared with the entire institute as well, so that we know your gradings wise, the kind of grading that you get continuously. So, and other thing is Instax we are currently working on. So we use all the technology possible technical part to make sure the training is properly delivered to the student, so that the student can be well trained, groomed, so that he will become more of employable as early as possible. That's what we do. Good guys, I don't want to take much time on day one. So this is more about whatever, I'm sure like all the 17 people that we have joined, I'm pretty much sure definitely you guys have joined CVCorp by listening to someone of your own circle or someone recommended you guys to join CVCorp mostly. That is what our biggest advantage. Most of the people who join CVCorp will be through some or the other references, either internal students or outside people, because we always make sure that whoever joins us gets placed. So those are like people actually can recommend more students to us very genuinely. So whatever that you heard about CVCorp through someone, we wanted to kind of tell you the reason why CVCorp is successful and what exactly we do internally and how we are different from the traditional training approach. So I think I have given you the entire overview part completely. Any questions, guys, before we say bye for today?
Sir, will classes will start from tomorrow, sir?
First 3-4 days will be demo classes, guys. So tomorrow you guys will have a programming class for about 1.5 hours. So programming concerned person will give you a complete clarity about how to write a program from scratch. Then we have a class from the Java faculty, Kalyan. He will tell you more about, as part of Java class, what exactly we teach. Like we will be teaching you core Java, advanced Java, the real-time project, whatever we spoke about, how we're going to help you, SQL part, HTML, CSS, Linux commands. So he'll be explaining more about what all things we teach. Then we have a demo class from Aptitude Madam, where she'll be teaching about how she'll be helping you to crack the company written test part with all the company specific training and all those things. Then we'll be starting classes from Monday, regular classes.
Okay, sir.
Because we don't want to deep dive into the classes immediately. We want people to also to understand what exactly we teach. There might be few exceptions wherein people might who are really good or half ready kind of a thing. But when we take a demo class, we have to consider the average population of the class, not about the smart guys. So we generally take demo classes in detailed way so that one day, tomorrow will be only programming, and day after tomorrow will be core Java and aptitude demo class. Starting from Monday, your regular classes will start. So morning 10 o'clock you have programming class, then you'll have aptitude, and post lunch you guys will have core Java class. And communication class, what we do, we don't want to have everyone in the same batch. So our approach is we will talk to the students one-on-one in detail, and then irrespective of whatever batch you join in September 2nd batch or 16th or 23rd or even August, whatever it is, we wanted to talk to the student to understand what level he is, and based on that we have a customized communication classes for them. That's what we generally do. Assume that if someone is really good, so we don't want the person to sit in communication class for 1.5 hours. Rather, we expect the person to practice on the areas where he is lacking. For example, he is lacking in aptitude or Java or coding side. If someone is good with programming and everything but lacking communication part, we want to focus more on the person. If not that we teach from grammar completely, at least to the context of what we speak in the interview, we make them to speak very confidently in the interview part so that they can make the best impression part. Okay?
Okay, sir, clear.
Guys, are clear? Any questions? Okay, then
No,
thank you so much, guys. Tomorrow, Sankalpa will message you that tomorrow what time we're going to start the programming class, and see you tomorrow. Okay?
Okay, sir.